Well, good damn afternoon, Americans. Jericho Green here with you once again. Do not forget, it's all about you. 100% viewer funded. I appreciate that. All you got to do now is reach up inside of your generosity, root around, and pull something out for me. Links will be in the description box. Chicago. It's too late. It's too late to complain. It's too late to protest and rally together at the school board meetings or the city council meetings. It's too late. You've already tugged your own pants down around your ankles. You grabbed the KY jelly and handed it to him, and now you want to complain about you getting fucked? This is what you wanted. It's no one else's fault but your own that you were so short-sighted, that you wanted to quench that social justice thirst. You just had to support being a sanctuary city, didn't you? Made you feel good, made you feel like you Americans with all your abundance were doing something for the little guy. You were helping someone who's not well off. These poor countries in this political and social unrest, the war, the economy. You said, nah, let them come on up. It makes me feel good to help these poor people. These people who were born with these unfortunate lives. These less fortunate people. Made you feel good, didn't it? You had the little bug-eyed troll with the bottom half of her face glistening from eating all that fucking clam. You had your little alphabet soup group stormtrooper telling you that we're a sanctuary city. Yeah, girl, we're a sanctuary city. Sounds good, feels good, but it's not good, is it? So you allow yourselves to be murdered in the streets. Men, women, children, it doesn't matter. There's equal opportunity killers in Chicago. You allow yourselves to be killed, and those of you who are left, you're allowing yourselves to be pushed out. You're allowing your neighborhoods to be gentrified right under your nose. I'll put a link in the description box to this story. So there was another city council meeting on the west side of Chicago. They didn't want to come out in numbers like this for their terrible school system, the underperforming schools. None of the high school kids can read or do math, but we'll stay home. But now that these little poor brown faces have shown up, and it's time to play musical chairs with the buildings and schools in your neighborhood, now you want to show up. So they parade these little kids out, this little Pop Warner football team. All of them black. Black Lives Matter. You guys hear that? Tripping. Anyway, so they parade these little black kids in front of the board of the city council members. And they got their little uniforms on, got their shoulder pads on. Look at this. Excuse me. Thank you, because I hope some of you said bless you. I know some of you said bless you. So they parade the little kids out there in their little football gear, and these kids are being kicked off of their field house so they can house 200 migrants, asylum seekers, or as I like to call them in truth land, illegals, invaders, foreign troops. There's a reason they're mostly young men. Who would you send to invade? A bunch of women and children? Of course not. So they're parading these little kids out there because the place that they go to play, one of the few places of refuge they have from the violence and the poverty, they can come and play football and be safe until some teenager decides to shoot up the game. But anyway, there's somewhere they can go and be safe and they can learn something. The coach of the football team said, we're not a team, we're a family. This is a respite, a reprieve for some of these kids. Not anymore. I don't know where you kids are going to go. Out in the street? Maybe you guys can hold football practice on the sidewalk. Maybe you can find a cul-de-sac that you can hold football practice in on the asphalt. Black Lives Matter. Now, I know you heard that, guys. I heard that for sure. Somebody was chanting Black Lives Matter in the background. Who was it? Huh? Who was it? Because if they do matter, wouldn't you want to do something? Shouldn't there be a BLM representative, a BLM liaison? I'm sure there's a BLM stronghold somewhere in Chicago. How come they're not there standing up for one of the most vulnerable black lives out there? You got black babies in the womb. They definitely don't care about them because we're taking them out by the hundreds of thousands every year. But these children who do escape the doctor's scalpel or the doctor's vacuum, they escape a set of stairs or a coat hanger and they make it. What about their little black lives? And you see all these adorable little black children walking in front of the camera. So where are the Black Lives Matter representatives? Where are the protests? We know they're good at protesting. If BLM was a superhero, you know, on the back of the X-Men cards, you remember those back in the day, the children of the 90s? On the back of the card, it would have their strengths. It would have their stats, strength, speed, mental abilities. What do you call it? What could Wolverine do? He could regenerate. And they would grade it on a scale. How they score in these different categories. If BLM was a superhero, protesting would be their strength. They know how to protest. They know how to get out there, flip cars over, burn shit, throw bricks. Where's all that for these little black children who are now cast into the abyss of the west side of Chicago because they want to put some fucking illegals on their field? Do not forget, I'm going to drive this point home until they do something about it. A lot of these men, most of these men are coming from countries where the age of consent is as low as 12 years old, and they're plopping them in the middle of your fucking neighborhood. So these little black children can engage in sports and camaraderie. You make relationships that last your entire life at this age. These children are being robbed of that because they want to prioritize some illegals. Chicago, get your black asses the fuck out of their way. You mean nothing. You are old news. You're day-old bread, Chicago black folks. You're stale. Nobody wants you. You served your purpose. You put these people in power. You paved the road for these illegals to walk here. These illegals aren't even walking here. They're skipping and whistling here. You made it easy for them to come into your neighborhood. They're taken from your mouths and given to them. Your black children aren't going to be able to play football because they gave their field up to some illegals. And this is what you voted for. This is what you wanted. You don't think you want it. It doesn't feel like you want it, but you want it because this is what you voted for. You didn't learn your lesson from the shiny face lesbian troll, did you? You went ahead and put Brandon Johnson in there because you don't learn shit, Chicago. Not only did you allow yourselves to be murdered, now you're allowing yourselves to be removed altogether. And this illegal problem, I guess it depends on where you sit. If you're a Chicago politician, if you're an elected, selected official in Chicago, it's not a problem. But if you're the people of Chicago, it is. And it's an easy problem to fix. It's easier than the crime problem. Because with the crime problem, you can't grab those criminals and send them to another country. You got to deal with them here. But with the illegals, you can find them and get rid of them. Send them back. They're no longer a problem. You don't got to worry about the drain on your local your school system, law enforcement, 911 response, the sewer system, a whole lot more shits and pisses happening. The people consuming the pie are growing, but the pie isn't growing. And instead of excusing them from the table, you're allowing them to sap the local resources. That's the word I was looking for. You're allowing them to sap the local resources. Education, healthcare, all that shit, they're providing that for them. Out of your pocket. These illegals are out here with the iPhone 15 and you paid for it. But with the illegals, you can find them and remove them. You don't have to worry about any of that shit. But Jericho, they had a baby here. The baby is not a citizen. You take that baby, his mama and daddy, whoever came with them, and send all their asses back. That anchor baby shit is nonsense. That's not a law. That's not in the Constitution. Mom, dad, whoever, baby, you all gotta go. And guess what? The babies or the children, whoever are too damn young, they won't remember this shit anyway. 600 plus people showed up to a city council meeting in Chicago, parading these children in front of the city council members. It's too late. It's too late. They've already moved on to the next phase of the plan. You're running down the street, hey, wait, and they're in a speeding car. I'm gone. They can't even hear you. They got the windows up. They're bumping that. They can't even hear you. They're bumping some West African music in there, some Pakistani music. Whatever that shit is. They're bumping some Chinese music. They're bumping Haitian music. They can't even hear your American black ass anymore. You want to get up on the microphone and talk about what you want in your neighborhood. It's too fucking late. Because they knew if you didn't care about your citizens being shot in the streets like rabid dogs, you weren't going to do shit about them bringing in your replacements. And that's exactly what happened. Residents of Chicago, you better get your ass on the internet right now, and you better Google Maxine Waters' 43rd District in Los Angeles. Maxine Waters, 43rd District, gentrification. Read up on it. But because it's already happened to your West Coast brethren. And Maxine Waters, in her spare time, yes, she's a stunt double for James Brown in Las Vegas. Yes, she looks like Aunt Pearl from 227. I know all that shit. I know that. But what she's also good at is gentrifying black neighborhoods. Maxine Waters is a black woman. Did you know that? And she allowed these hordes of illegals to move into her district and push black folks out. There were gangs. There are gangs that go around looking for black people to hurt and or kill in her district. It's happened before. California is a petri dish. We are the guinea pigs. If it's successful here, they export it to the rest of the country. Black folks on the west side of Chicago, the south side of Chicago, basically the poor, violent sides of Chicago. You don't see them busing them up to the nicer neighborhoods, do you? You don't see them near where the mayor lives. The affluent parts of Chicago. You're not going to see that. But you poor ass niggas, they don't give a damn. Goodbye. We are now to the end of Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. The city of Chicago is Willy Wonka sitting at his table, writing stuff. And the black people of Chicago are Charlie's grandpa. But. And what did Willy Wonka turn around and say? The same thing that Chicago's saying to the black folks on the west side and the south side of Chicago. Good day, sir. We're done. You played your part. Thank you very much. Now fuck off. I'll meet you guys in the comments. You know how it goes. I try to be done with the left, but they just won't let me. Please subscribe. Hit that notification bell because every time it rings, a piece of shit lefty cries. Utilize the Linktree link. Get your ass over to JerichoGreen.net. Hit that Teespring link to get some merch. I am Jericho Green. Man, I'm out.